right, thanks for staying with us. Now, according to N2 Growth, there have always been those who have fostered trust and earned loyalty, as well as those who have abused both for personal gain. But in this, what have you done lately for me society that we have? You know this, what have you done lately for me society that we have? Where relationships have degenerated into little more than stepping stones, loyalty seems to be very evasive at best. One of a leader's most important functions is to create an environment where trust and loyalty are the rules and not the exception. If relationships are the currency of leadership, it is important for leaders to note that loyalty serves as the cornerstone of any healthy relationship. Leadership and loyalty go hand in hand. In fact, so much so that leaders who fail to understand this simply won't endure the test of time. While successful leaders share many common traits, all great leaders have one thing in common. They are not only adept to earning the loyalty of those they lead, but they also recognize that loyalty is a two-way street. When it comes to loyalty, the simple rule is that you will not receive what you will not give. Now, although most will agree that the Vice President, Osinbajo, gave a good speech, like Isi alluded to, that should have earned him some massive support at the just concluded primaries, one can't help but wonder how much impact his alleged disloyalty had on the outcome of the primaries. Now, today we want to focus on the importance of loyalty in leadership, right? That's the question. How important is loyalty in leadership? Now, please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081 803-84663. You can also tweet at us at PlusTvAfrica1 with the hashtag WayShow. So, when the subject of loyalty was just flying all up and down, when Rino Omokri had gone out to say that while he doesn't like, what's his name, Tinubu, he cannot help but understand that, you don't do that to somebody, like almost like the fingers that fed you. So literally the political journey of Professor Yemi Osinbajo has been a journey where he's had like the full backing of now the flag bearer, that's Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So over his career, I mean, yesterday I took a story of a man that had said that he was one that introduced Tinubu to Osinbajo to Tinubu, and and he was saying in that report that he regretted his actions. If he had known, he would not have introduced it, because up until that time, I mean, Osinbajo was like nowhere politically. So he introduced him, and of course he then became Attorney General and all of that, and now up until the point where he was, like nominated by Asiwaju as, becoming the Vice President. So, I mean, when you listen to Rino Omokri saying that he was holding forth for Asiwaju, because everybody knows that he's always had he had always nursed that ambition that I want to also, run for office. So it's actually an intriguing thing. So when all of this drama and the flying around of loyalty was going all over the place, it just brought me back to when our beloved Fashola was being screened by the Senate. I think I had to go look for it, because I took some screen grabs when he was being screened, and there was a particular question that he was asked. Then he went. I mean, that story was that quote went all over the place, right? He said, "May your loyalty." May your loyalty not be tested, because it was so deep, and the entire, Senate people said, may your loyalty, the entire senators, right, themselves, they shouted a big amen, because even them, it seemed to them that because loyalty is such a strong, attribute for, especially in the political space, yes, right? Because now, the question you asked before I said, let's take a break to have the conversation. If you even listen to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he alluded to the fact that Professor Yemi Osinbajo was loyal to his principal, which is supposed to be the person he's supposed to be serving under, right? But there was another part of loyalty. So how was he supposed to? I don't get it. Because if, for instance, now, right, it's almost like putting him in a tight corner.
Yeah.
You give me a job to do. You say, go and represent me and do this job.
Yeah.
Right? And if the person that I am working under probably hates your guts, but you sent me, I don't understand how this works. But let me understand your thoughts on loyalty and how important is it, in leadership.
Well, loyalty is everything in leadership. But how? Let me take it from this premise. Loyalty is relative. And why do I call it relative? It depends on whoever is being loyal. Why am I being loyal? That's the first question. Why should I be loyal? In what context should I be loyal? What's the situation that I have to be loyal to in that particular way? We have corporate entities being loyal to making profits. We have the politicians being loyal to whoever brought them into power. But however, are they supposed to be loyal to those who brought them into power, or loyal to those who they are supposed to be serving? That's the key thing here. So that's why I said loyalty is relative. And if I recall, in one of our interviews with Dr. Sam Adeyemi, he said that these our leaders are meant to serve us. They're supposed to answer to us. So they're supposed to be loyal to us in the first place. Loyalty is supposed to be unswerving loyalty. You don't have to, unswerving allegiance. You don't have to, put your mind in any other thing. And I think that's why I understand when they said, may your loyalty not be tested. I understand where they are coming from. Loyalty plays a huge role in leadership, as far as I'm concerned.
The thing about this subject of loyalty is almost like, because, in the political arena, it's like loyalty has become weaponized. It's like so it's almost at every point in time you are because it is a yes or a no. Are you for me or you are not against me? You cannot be in the middle, right? You cannot be in the middle. It's either you are for me or you're against me. And if you are against me, you are seen, as the enemy, right? But I want us to bring it back. Because you said something about loyalty to... So there's so many arms.
Yes, it's
There's
relative.
loyalty to your political godfather.
Yes.
There's loyalty to the party.
There's loyalty to...
There's loyalty to your
people.
principal, whoever you're working under. And there's loyalty to the people.
Yes.
So it is a very strong, attribute that every leader should be able to find a way to maneuver. Because I don't know how it will play out where the agenda of your party is not in line with the growth of the people. How do you stay loyal? So is that possibly why maybe somebody like a Peter Obi saw that this party will not deliver what I think I want to promise to the people? He then decides, let me step back to go to where I think I can exercise some level of authority to be able to at least deliver whatever it is that I've said I'm going to do, my promises, right? Because loyalty is huge. And a lot of times we see that with our political leaders, we see that it is always ambition, it is always party over people,
but not about the people.
Never about the people.
Never
about the people. So I was now thinking in my head, right? Should the vice president, should he have just followed, his political godfather blindly? Does loyalty mean that
my question,
you follow the
question I asked is, how are you sure that he did not follow his political godfather blindly? Because look,
No, if
how
they,
many
if,
people? How many? No,
except,
how many
except
people,
maybe all this drama that we are seeing, it is just us they are lying to.
It's home video. Look, I
You don't believe that? You don't believe they're fighting?
I don't believe they're fighting. I mean, after after the election with the president, the current president, Muhammadu Buhari, and his opponent Atiku Abubakar, they actually shook hands. And at the end of the day, who suffered? People died in that election. People lost their lives. And in the course of the, people's properties were destroyed in the course of that election. But at the end of the day, what happened? They shook hands.
But they said in politics, there are no permanent enemies, only permanent interests.
Only permanent interest. I was going to say that because it's not about the dynamics of politics. Look, it is the more you look, the less you see. And I will harp on it because the game is, it has just begun actually, and as it unfolds, as the days rolls by towards election, you get to see the dynamics of the real election or the real politicking playing out. So I don't think for any reason that he was against his political godfather. I think for some reason they played a card which actually ended where they actually wanted it to. I think there's a book called The Master of the Game by Sidney Sheldon. Now that book is actually leading your client or whoever you're talking to do exactly what you want them to do without you actually stating what you want them to do. So how is so sure
all of this was a game plan
it was
after all?
Orchestrated? I believe it was orchestrated. I don't think it was played out in the way it was played out. If not, believe me, I know my guy Tinubu, he will not take it lying down. He will not.
No, but I heard talking about him not taking it lying down. So I listened to his speech.
Yeah.
There are just a few lines I want to put out there. Because this conversation, we are going to be talking politics for a very long time.
And it's not my favorite topic.
You know, when he says a word like "you will not be forgotten," that is a very strong affirmation that if you stay loyal to me, if you stay true to me, I will go all the way. You will never be forgotten. You know, when he said that, I said, So you see, I think he's someone that is big on loyalty.
Totally.
He's very, because for the few people that I have interacted with that have close proximity with him, he's very big on loyalty. So when he says you will not be forgotten, that tells me that, okay, this is someone that, you know,
he holds in high esteem.
He holds those, you know, those that you stood for me, I would be with you and all of that.
He's holding that person.
But when you talked about, you know, he will not take it down,
lying low.
You know, said the cat that laid down quietly is not
it's not pretending to.
It's not a pretension of death.
But waiting to devour.
Breathing of the energy to devour is. we are in for Glasgow.
Like I told you, the drama has just begun. The drama has just begun, and the more we glide or we head towards or we galvanize towards the date of election, the more the drama actually unfolds. We get to see what the dynamics
I want to ask a question
is.
Because you see, the definition of loyalty in Nigeria is somewhat skewed. Where you see that people that are meant to, so now loyalty means, loyalty means for me, or the way I see loyalty means now, what it means is we're not putting competence, we're not putting credibility, we're not putting that, oh, this is the best person for the job, and we're not putting all of those attributes in consideration. All we are putting is that this person will die for me, this person will kill for me, so at that point, anything this person wants, I'm going to give it to the person. So if we then structure this and impute that as part of our what's called blueprint, the way we work in terms of like picking of and selecting of probably your cabinet members and all of that, based on the fact that these guys were loyal to you, would we see any form of progress in Nigeria? Given that, yes, no, we have to be very sincere with ourselves. Because if you say that you are hell-bent on loyalty, sometimes, right, you might not be loyal to me personally.
Totally.
But you might be loyal to the cause called Nigeria. You might be loyal to the brand called Nigeria. You might be loyal to the fact that good governance, right? You might be loyal to good governance. You might be loyal to the overall bigger picture. But personally, both of us don't have that rapport. You are not loyal to me as a person, right? You are loyal to whomever.
To the interests.
Yes, you're loyal to whomever.
A common goal.
Yes, is projecting that common goal.
Yes.
So shouldn't that be much more important than,
You see, oh wow. You see, I think that is why we're in the pitfall we are in currently, where we churn out the crop of leaders we have. Let's take it back to when we had the pre-independence.
Yeah.
The crop of leaders we had then, all they wanted was what? Independence for Nigeria. They had a common goal. They wanted independence for Nigeria. But currently, what is the common goal for each crop of leader we have brought up today? It's personal interests, self-satisfying greed. It's as simple as that. So there's nothing on the table that says this is where we are going to, but there is a lot of lip service to where they want us to go to. But are we really getting there? No, we are
Absolutely.
not. So totally, we have churned out the crop of leaders we have today based on, loyalty, blind loyalty, basically, which is unswerving allegiance to whatever this person says. If the person says I should give an arm, I give an arm. If the person says I should draw blood, I'll draw blood. It doesn't matter what I have to do, but so long as I am in the good books
of that person.
I'm in the good books of this individual. So it's not about the person, and like I stated, loyalty is relative. Again.
Otikwa. We shall be right back. I have a few things I'd like to read. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for staying with us. Now, if you just tuned in, we're discussing this topic, right? How important is loyalty in leadership? Now, please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-4663. You can also tweet at us at PlusTvAfrica1 with the hashtag WayShow. Even me right now, I'm looking for loyalists too. I like people in my corner. But you see, I hate the idea that you're not competent at your job, but you think you can, what's it called? Psychophancy and mediocrity. So I saw this and I would like to read. It said, while I firmly concur that the concept of loyalty is strange, the reality is that loyalty is an integral part of human existence, right? Which plays a defining role in relationships.
Totally.
Because trust me, I can only come close to you, Issy, when I know that come rain, come sunshine, Issy got my back.
Absolutely.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
That you can't take that away. It's a loyalty takes no prisoners. It's either for or against. The age-long argument about loyalty over competence reinforces the uniqueness of the concept, where professionalism is sacrificed
Totally.
over perceived allegiance.
Totally.
Do you understand?
Totally.
That you are competent at the job is completely thrown out of the window.
Out the window.
We don't care whether it is, as long as you are
loyal to me. And
so maybe should we start to shift where the loyalty should lie? Because now Nigerians will be waiting, right? They're waiting for people to come out with their manifestos and let's see, should we start to shift where this loyalty is? Because that is a big promise. When you tell people that you will never be forgotten, that's huge. For you to promise that, it means that come rain, come sunshine, as long as you've done this for me, so no matter what, even if you are not the best person for the job, so because again, to whom much is given, much is also expected. For him as a person, it tells you that if I give you my word, you understand, you can bank on it.
Totally.
Because that is his person.
Totally.
And that's why for him, those kinds of loyalty is dear to him, right? So we are now looking at conversations around, oh, this person was there for me. I suppose this person is the right man for the job.
Yes.
So this completely keeps me at a state of perpetual worry. That it means that for every single time, I've had friends that are in positions of authority, and I tell them, see, don't give me this job because I am your friend.
Give me the job
because you know I can deliver. Right?
Key.
So because, okay. It says, I was going to say that I know it sounds like malediction. Oh, no, let me try this. No politician ever wants his loyalty tested. Although they all profess loyalty to the people they hear, we know that their loyalty is mostly to themselves and their interest. Thus, we ever want to get the best, if we ever want to get the best out of our leaders, the best invocation is that one call is the one that calls for loyalty to be tested, for their loyalty to be tested. Oh my God. So to whom do you owe your loyalty? Is it to the people, to the kingmaker, to the cabal, or even loyal to the Federal Republic, whose passport gives you cover to roam the world? Let your loyalty be tested again and again to see if you will side with the people or remain the Godfather's accolade forever. Do you understand? So now, I am just trying to put this at the front burner.
Yeah.
As Nigerians, the 200 million people in Nigeria, we need to start questioning our leaders. Come 2023, we need to start testing
their
loyalty
lie.
Who will be your priority? What will be your priority? Do you understand? So that there are things at least we can hold them account to. But you know, this country, I am still trying to be very positive and optimistic, right? But you know, just let us begin to test that loyalty, because it's where we are as a nation. We can't keep saying that, oh, we can't do anything about it. Or the cabals, the Godfather. Yes, they exist. But we need to start, whoever that comes out to say, you know what, they want to be our leaders, our presidents, our governors, or what's it called, local government chairman, representatives, senators, and all of that. Let us test that loyalty. Who are you loyal to? Are you loyal to your party? Are you loyal to the cabal? Are you loyal to the kingmakers?
Or you're loyal to yourself? People? Or you're just loyal to yourself.
Absolutely.
Another thing, you know, we should also look into is the fact that there was a story about, let me just take us through the story, then I'll hit my point. There was a story of Mahatma Gandhi when a woman came to him and said, okay, you know, everybody,
sugar.
Well, yeah, the sugar story, yes. And everybody's, you know, we all understand the fact that we believe in a particular thing, but we can tell them, do what I want you, do what I have stated that you should do. So a leader is someone that guides with example, which was what Gandhi did when he told the boy, let me go and find out, let me first of all stop eating sugar. Yes, I'll stop eating sugar first. Before, you know, already know the story, so I had to, you know, go in right in. He said, I have to stop eating sugar first before I told the little boy to stop eating sugar. That is leadership by example. The question,
that one, he was holding himself accountable.
He was holding himself accountable. So that's where the self comes into play. Are you loyal to yourself as a leader, or are you loyal to the people you serve? And how do you intend to guide the people? You give us tall dreams or tall rhetorics, and at the end of the day, what happens? We do not get what you have stated in your manifesto in the first place. So look, leadership by example is the first thing for me. I believe so much in it, and I think God bless my father's soul, he said that a boss is different from a leader. And the crop of leaders we have today, I'm sorry to say, are bosses. They're not leaders. The leader will lead by example, just like Gandhi did. And he was loyal to his people, because it's a two-way street. All right? It's not just about the people being loyal to him. They should be loyal to, the leaders should also be loyal to the people, or whoever they feel is the follower in that context. So the key thing here is the fact that as a leader, you lead by example. The boss does not lead by example, but says, go and do what I want you to do. And at the end of the day, I might not even be accountable for it.
So let me take a comment by Chisom. He says, hi guys.
Yeah.
Like seriously, what has Yemi's loyalty to Tinubu/Buhari got to do with 200 million Nigerians that have been exposed to perpetual
poverty,
suffering on daily basis?
Yeah.
That's practically for their selfish interest. Let's talk about things that will make Nigeria better. I beg, thanks. Well, so the sad part, Chisom, is that this might seem like a topic to gloss over.
Yeah.
But you see, for me, I try to look at certain kinds of situations and prune it one after the other.
Absolutely.
When we continue to have leaders come out, because now, whether you like it or not, whether they say it in open, if they are confident, they can. You know, sometimes you must own this thing. Like, say it with your full chest.
Yes.
Most of the people that stepped down, they've given them huge promises to say, if you step down for me, you get X, Y, Z. Do you understand? It is a political game. So as long as loyalty is to this person, you will continue to be your
allegiance.
Your pipe would continue to flow.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So you might look at loyalty that is not a subject to discuss.
To be discussed.
But I can tell you for free.
But it's crucial.
Part of why we have the problem that we have today is that everybody is not focused on what is beneficial to the people. What they are more concerned is how this benefits me. How do I plug in? So you see a lot of people, sycophants. I mean, somebody says that we debase loyalty when we reduce its definition to groveling sycophancy. Don't let your loyalty become slavery.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
If they don't appropriate what you bring to the table, then let them eat alone. Do you understand? We should get to that point, and this is where I then applaud.
Well, they want to
Hold
eat
on.
alone.
This is where I then applaud Professor Yemi Osinbajo.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Despite he knew that the odds were against him, he didn't cower out and say, you know what, let me also come out and announce this big announcement that I'm stepping down for my big uncle or my big daddy or my political godfather.
Yeah.
We need to start having a lot of people that even at the heat of that you know that this might be like he has literally buried his political career, but he was ready to say, you know what, if it is because of the loyalty that I own to the people of Nigeria, let me be buried politically. Right? We must get to that point, because you see, where somebody says may your loyalty not be tested, it means that if given the opportunity to pick between the Nigerian people and your political career or your ambition, do you understand? And the food on your table and how you continue to feed yourself, you will be, I mean, a lot of people would pick food. They will not think of,
the people.
No.
Not at all.
So I mean, I like when this man was saying it, that if they don't appreciate what you bring to the table, like his intellect, his fine speech, his everything, and all of that, if they don't like what you bring to the table, then let them eat alone. Loyalty is a two-way thing, right? The followers are loyal to the leaders who is loyal to them. But overriding principle is that both the leader and the led are to be set, are loyal to a set of binding principles. So let us begin to re-engineer our minds as to what this subject of loyalty is. Because now, it is all about what are you promising me. Once you promise me X, Y, Z, and this is what the delegate system, right? I keep on saying. And that's why I say to, I still said it yesterday, that you are telling people to go and get their PVC is already too late. Can we just forget about 2023? It does not exist. Can we start to say, you know what? Let's start to build political parties where eventually people that we think, that we believe that probably these guys have good intention, they are technocrats, they are this, they are that, whatever, we can then invite them and of course make them our own flag bearers and go out, to vote for them. For Nigerians who are not loyal, what we are loyal to is our stomach. We are loyal to,
there is poverty in the land, whether we like it or not. There is poverty in the land, and because there is poverty in the land, the people will first of all think, how will this benefit me? This benefit me. Now, but however, they're not thinking about the bigger picture. And what's the bigger picture? The loyalty of the next few years. What will the economy be like for them? They are not thinking about, they're thinking about the immediate benefit.
They're not thinking of the next generation.
They're not thinking of the next generation.
Absolutely.
So that's self. You said something earlier. What are the promises that I'm supposed to get from these individuals or these leaders that are stepping up to rule us or to stand in and say, okay, we want to step into this position of leadership? what are the promises? The ones that we already have we held them accountable? The monies that they have taken that they cannot account for, have we held them accountable? These are little questions. These are little but salient questions that we are yet to answer. Because these individuals still come back to us and tell us that we should vote for them. Why should we vote for them when the ones that we've already given, they say, when you said something earlier, to whom much is given, much is expected. We've given them so much of us. So much. And yet we are yet to get, I go to the market every day, I weep. Because everything is quadruple or triple. In fact, it's crazy.
You are not loyal to your pocket.
I'm loyal to my pocket. Just like every single Nigerian out there who will go out there, the first thing they are thinking about is, how will this economy get better? So that I can, you go to the market these days, if you have small, if I don't want to call big amount, if you have small change, it's half of it.
Let's take more comments.
All right.
Because it's
well, let me take.
While you're finding your comments,
yes, please.
I like the part that Tinubu said in his speech. He said, "This is a time to take a revenge." It has taken me way too long. I was just jotting down all the speech. You know, when he says that he wants to take his revenge on President Buhari,
he threw a lot of jabs. It's just for some people to actually.
So, and guess what? You see,
the words.
The downside.
Yeah.
The downside.
Yes.
To leaders that are really big on loyalty. You must be loyal to me. You must be loyal to me. You must be loyal to me.
Irrespective of what happens.
You surround yourself with mediocrity.
Yes.
Psychophancy. A lot of psychophants. Yes. Right? Because guess what? They will just keep on feeding you what you want to hear.
Hypocrisy will thrive.
You will never hear the truth.
Yeah.
They will keep feeding you what they believe that you need to hear or you want to hear, so as to just keep having their way. And in your mind, you feel like, you know what, they've got my back.
Totally.
But you see, it's not like that. And again, when I study most politics, look at the politics that have played out with APC and PDP. So I hear the delegates got about $25,000. You know, I know one delegate that went there. After this show, I'm going to call and see where's our share. You know, but I'm just saying to you that. So when you understand that, shouldn't they be worried that these guys are only loyal to the dollars I am doling out, not really to me as a person?
Absolutely.
Do you understand?
Absolutely.
Because you see, there's that loyalty that a Buhari had. What he has as loyalty. People follow him in a cultic manner. And Buhari doesn't have to give you a dime.
A dime.
Do you understand? But you see,
Atiku
and Tinubu, they don't have that cultic following. People actually follow them because they are actually very great, dishes of, dough.
They're generous.
Thank you, that's the word I'm looking for. They're very generous. Right? So if you are big on loyalty as a person, you're big on loyalty to you as a person, then you might be in a tight position, because hardly would you find the right people around you.
Totally.
What you would continue to find are the people that will just continue to grease your elbow, continue to just massage your ego,
and see what they can
milk
get
from you. And with that, we can never progress as a country. But let me take your comment.
All right, my comment goes thus. It says, "Good evening, my beautiful sisters of What Are You Saying? #ways. The importance of loyalty in leadership is very important and should be treated very well. My dear, beautiful sister Isi hit the nail on the head by saying that loyalty is everything in leadership. It plays a big role and it is relative. There should not be sentiments or lip service in loyalty. The manifesto of a leader is very important and should be followed. According to Sister Uwa, a leader must be able to die for the follower, be there for the people, and make sure you put a smile on their faces. That is pure and genuine loyalty. Loyalty should benefit the people and not the leaders. A loyal leader should always pay allegiance to the people. God help us to have loyal leaders in Jesus' name." And said, "My dear sister Isi, you are welcome back. I miss you. Oh, my My name is Daniel Ilo. Thank you so much, Daniel. I appreciate you as well. Thank you so much.
So,
look, he said one thing, that they will die for us. Will they die for us? They won't die for us.
they will not do.
There's no way they're going to die for us.
But you see, and that's where what is scary for me in all of this campaign and the shenanigans and the primaries going on. I have not really heard what is in it for the Nigerian citizen. What's in it for the people? It's just been about a lot of personal
rhetorics.
It's even more of personal ambitions that are just flying all over the place. Good evening, ladies. Nigeria is finished. Okay.
No, Nigeria is not
it's
finished.
It's a pity.
Please.
We are 200 million people and just feel they are digging Nigeria's grave. It's sad that APC has chosen a grandpa, and sick man. Nigerians keep sleeping. This is Tony from Munich, Germany. So this issue, can we just quickly touch on this issue of sickness for a bit? Should we leave it for tomorrow? Because we still have politics to talk about tomorrow.
Should I care?
So tomorrow now we've seen the four major contenders: Peter Obi, Atiku, Tinubu, and Kokonso. So those are the four major contenders. It would be nice to ask our viewers, what do you think? Me, I'm not going to say nothing tomorrow, but I'm just going to ask you. But I just feel like, so we don't try to treat conventional topics. The conversation today is to get you back home to sit down and think. Because when we start to hear, and we must listen with intent of really picking out those, undertones.
Absolutely.
When you hear on a campaign like Promise, and you're hearing, I will make sure you will never be forgotten, all of those, those lines are, things that will tell you that this country, at the rate that we're going, it means that things will just continue as status quo. Now, something really, I don't know if I should say this, but in my opinion, I have seen that this person is incompetent. Yeah. Completely incompetent. He's a governor of a particular state in this country.
Okay.
But for the subject of this loyalty, right? He's going for a second term. Right? So I'm now wondering, shouldn't this conversation, because you see, I want our leaders to think deep. Yes, I get that there's a part of loyalty that people must always show to you, that they're loyal to you. But shouldn't you also at least understand that in that your loyalty, be competent at your job? Is it bad, or is it difficult to ask for competence alongside that loyalty? Because now it seems like whether you do the job, you don't do the job, right? We'll just keep on promoting you. You're not delivering on your promises. If Nigeria were your company,
we've had that play out
Nigeria,
time and time again.
You see, if Nigeria were your company, and somebody is not even making any effort to improve and to change and to make it good,
sack.
As long as the person is greasing your palm,
yes,
you just turn a blind eye.
Yeah.
Because the person is loyal to you as a brand.
Totally.
Would you leave that person in your company?
But if I was having someone as such in my company, I would not have such a person in my company in the first place. It's all about credibility, and your loyalty is not just about to me.
So
like
what comes first? It has to be credibility before loyalty. On that note, we will continue tomorrow. Before we go, do ensure you follow us on Instagram. It's at PlusTvAfrica. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and more importantly, follow all our engagements on social media. Like, share, invite your families and friends to watch, and follow the conversation. I'm not loyal though. If you missed today's quote, here it is again. Loyalty cannot be blueprinted. It cannot be produced on an assembly line. In fact, it cannot be manufactured at all. For its origin, it's human heart, the center of self-respect and human dignity. It is a force which lives into being only when conditions are exactly right for it. And it is a force very sensitive to betrayal. We'll see you guys live tomorrow at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.
Bye.